It's late at night. I'm lying on my bed in the darkness of my room. Outside is a thunderstorm, and I can hear the heavy, constant rainfall and claps of thunder. Then intermittent flashes of lightning light up my room, and in the brief flash of light, I see a strange creature-like figure standing, facing me in the far corner of the room. I sit up quickly with fright, unsure whether to believe my eyes as the room returns to darkness. I can still hear the rainfall, then lightning briefly light up my room once more, and once again I see the creature. It is tall and gangly, with a large oversized head, and has moved closer towards me across the room. I jump up out of bed and feel for the handle of my bedroom door. I turn it frantically, but it won't open, so I turn back slowly to face the darkness of my room. Then another flash of light reveals the creature's face, inches from mine. Its large dark eyes peer into mine, and I feel paralyzed, unable to move. Then a strange, draining feeling overcomes me, as if my mind is being sucked into his. I begin to float through a dark celestial world, full of shimmering stars and planets and colourful clouds of dust. Eventually, I land on a crystallised surface, and high above the surface are wavering colourful lights, like a protective screen around the planet, shining down onto thousands of identical alien beings. They're all stood in a circle surrounding me. Then a deep sounding blast, like a ship's horn, reverberates around us, and all the alien beings start shuffling towards me, grabbing at my body. They pick me up and pass me through the crowd above their heads until I reach the end, where a huge black hole lies beneath me. I look into the dark eyes of the alien holding me, but before I can plead with him, he pushes me. I grab at his arm to try and stop myself from falling, but his green skin comes away in my hands and I fall, spiraling into the darkness. The fall seems to last forever, but then I suddenly awake on my bed. The sun is shining through the bedroom window. I must have dreamt the whole thing, but it felt so real. I'm lying on the bed in the dark, clutching at my stomach pain, when a bright light shines through my open window. I lie still, staring at the images of aliens come into my room, moving and swirling around in front of me. Then my eyes begin to feel heavy, opening and closing, gently drifting off into a deep sleep. Even though I am asleep and my eyes are closed, I am gently aware of what's happening. A light sensation lifts my body, and I begin to float and drift into the realms of another world, escorted by creatures with oversized heads and large dark eyes. I am now curled up like an unborn child in clear cylindrical casing, floating in warm grey liquid. I can feel sweet fresh air entering my nostrils and mouth through long plastic tubes, and I begin to feel lightheaded as a kind, gentle telepathic voice echoes softly inside my head. The voice is offering reassurance that I don't have to worry anymore. Everything is going to be okay. A pleasing sensation runs through my entire body as the warm liquid bubbles and swirls, caressing me with a feeling of peace and tranquility. After a short while, the liquid drains, and I am now laid on my back, floating in a brightly lit room. The aliens are standing all around me. I see one of them insert a long needle into my navel. I can feel it moving around inside my stomach, but there is no physical pain, more feeling of anxiety, like butterflies. The aliens tell me that I am ill, but when I return home I will be better, free of sickness. Then my world falls into a silent darkness. I awake at home on my bed. Sunlight is shining through the window, and I feel fresh, invigorated, free from pain, as if I had been given a new lease of life. It was late at night, and I was lying on my couch watching TV. I remember looking at the clock, which said 11:35, and my eyes feeling heavy. Then the room lit up in a bright light, and in this bright light I could make out a group of about 4 or 5 alien-looking creatures. Then I slowly floated up from off the couch, still lying down, into the middle of the room where the aliens surrounded me. Their skin was grey, and they had huge oversized heads and large eyes. One of them stood holding my head. Then the one standing at my feet looked at me with fast blinking eyes, and his face began to change from one human form to the next. And then I realised as the faces kept changing that I recognised them. They were faces of my grandparents, uncles and aunts and my dad, all of whom who had passed away years before. Then the one holding my head let go, and the images stopped. I floated into a standing position with my feet about a foot off the ground, and followed the aliens outside, floating like an astronaut in space. Outside in the darkness I could see many brightly lit saucer-shaped craft hovering in the sky. I looked down my street and could see people being led out of their houses, just like I was. I find myself unable to speak as I tried to call out to them. All of a sudden, beams of light shone down from every craft, and one by one I watched my neighbours transport from this light to the craft hanging in the sky. Then it was my turn. It happened so quickly and with such force, like a magnet pulling on something metal. I was now in complete darkness, and the only sound I could hear was like an electrical hum. I could barely move and was encased in some sort of liquid, and there was a tube lodged in my mouth. Then some lights lit up the darkness, and all around me I could see thousands and thousands of cocoons filled with humans. I began to panic. I tried to break free, wriggling as hard as I could. Then I felt the liquid begin to drain away, and I awoke back on my couch, dripping with sweat. I looked at the clock. It said 11:36.